97.9, where we bang the hottest hip hop and R&B. It's your girl Shani Sweets, the sweetest little thing in your ear, and we're right here inside the Pretty Girl Playbook. Now, I know usually I've been talking to you by now, but I'm gonna have a special player of the day today. I got somebody in the building. I have Miss Elizabeth Johnson, aka Dr. Johnson. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
Hey y'all. Thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show today. I'm feeling good, feeling great.
I love that. Now, you guys, you know how we do. Advanced Community Health comes through. They let us know what we need to know to keep ourselves healthy, happy, and, you know, just making sure we all good. So today we're going to be talking about something that is actually very important. I was talking to my sister about this, and she told me not to expose her. Too late. We talk about vaping today, okay? So we want to talk about how vaping really affects your body. So, Dr. Johnson, how does vaping really affect our body? Let's get into it.
So first I want people to understand what's actually in vape liquid. So the first thing really to understand is that it's not just nicotine. Sometimes, of course, you can have THC, let's be real. But you have flavor, like chemicals that are flavored. You have saltiness.
You said THC.
Yeah.
That's still considered vaping?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Continue.
I was like, let's be real.
All
okay.
right. All right.
And that's even actually more of an issue because depending on what state you live in, it may not be regulated.
Mm-hmm.
So there are all different sorts of things that can be in that. So that's the first part is understanding what is in a vape pen.
Okay. So, like, what's in like the vape liquids and like those ingredients? How do they actually affect the body?
So when you are using your vape pen and you are heating that liquid, once it's heated, it can actually release toxic products that are, of course, toxic to your lungs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that includes things like formaldehyde. Depending on if you are using a THC pen, it can even release some pesticides, things like that. And it's really important that people understand it's not a vapor; it's an aerosol. Okay, so an aerosol is, for example, like cooking spray or hairspray.
Oh, wow.
Why is that important? So a vapor evaporates, right?
Yes.
But an aerosol leaves small particles in your lungs. So every single time you are inhaling that product, it's leaving small particles in your lungs.
I have another side question.
Yeah.
Is that the same as hookah?
Hookah is just as bad.
Okay, y'all better listen up, okay? I know I've been telling y'all I got free hookah outside. I'm gonna have to stop telling you that. Okay?
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to stop telling you that. Now, what are some misconceptions that patients have about vaping being safer than actually like smoking cigarettes and other like tobacco products?
Right. So, you know, the way that it's been framed for some people is that it's a way maybe to stop smoking cigarettes. So that's an option for some people, but it's still not safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, every time you are inhaling that, you're inhaling toxic products into your lungs, whether it's nicotine, whether it's marijuana. All of those things are toxic.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's an aerosol, so you're leaving permanent deposits. Nothing that you're inhaling into your lungs is safe.
Yeah.
Unless you got your albuterol pump. That's different.
See, we don't even know what these words are, you guys. We gotta stop, okay? So there's early signs and symptoms because one thing I know with adults is one thing, but with teens, how can parents, how can self, how can just all together, how can we recognize some of the early signs and symptoms that vaping might be harming your health, even if you feel like okay? Because we have people passing out while they're playing basketball.
Right, and not knowing it. So a chronic cough, shortness of breath, becoming tired more easily. But specifically when it comes to teens, you notice a change in their mood. They can be more irritable, more anxious, depressed, right? And then they get into this cycle because they're treating their anxiety, they're treating the depression with the nicotine or with the marijuana. So it's more anxiety, more depression from the baseline. Because let's admit it, all teens can be a little bit moody, but this is more irritability or even difficulty concentrating. So they can think, oh, my child has ADHD. No, they might be doing something else.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so it's really like kind of paying attention to their schedule all the way around. This is a lot of information I'm taking in. I know we're telling you guys because we want you to be safe, but look, self gotta be safe too.
Yes.
Self gotta be safe. Now I'm not a vapor, but I am a smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it is a vapor because I'm like, ooh, let me get the THC pens or the dab pens or whatever the case is. And sometimes those things come in those boxes and you don't know what's in those boxes. So you
Right,
get them from, like, smoke
because they're not
shops and all that
regulated.
stuff like that.
It's
Yeah.
not regulated, so you don't know what they're using as their solvents, right?
I'm gonna have to ask my sister. She works at one of those places. I'm not gonna tell y'all what she
Right,
does.
so it's
but
different
it's
from a
one of those,
nicotine
like,
pen,
yeah.
nicotine vapes versus if you're having THC. Both are dangerous, but
Yeah.
the THC, depending on what state you live in, is not regulated.
Gotcha.
So you can have things that are being used like vitamin E, all those different things that are gonna cause damage to your lungs.
Wow. So from a medical standpoint, what makes vaping so addictive, especially for young adults and teens?
So nicotine is highly addictive in and of itself, right? So the thing about vape pens is that it's delivering nicotine to your brain very effectively. So the purpose of it, you inhale, it's quickly absorbed, nicotine gets right to your brain, and it releases dopamine. Dopamine is that feel-good chemical in your brain. So every single time you're smoking, it is releasing that. And then you get to a point that your body is wanting that, not just so because it needs it, but just to act normal.
Right.
So that's how people become addicted to certain things. So sometimes you can ask somebody, it's like, I don't want to be doing this, but I feel like I have to just to feel like myself.
Gotcha.
So that's how you get in that bad cycle.
What are some other ways that you can get dopamine? If you wanna, like, natural ways, like that, picking up a baby, like.
Listen to Hot 97.
There you go.
Okay?
There you go.
Dance. Get out and dance. Have some good time with your friends. Have girl nights, have guy nights. Anything that you're interacting with people, socializing. I feel like we've lost that part of, interacting with just one another and with humans.
Yeah.
So there are other ways that you can increase the dopamine, in a healthy way.
Okay, I'm here for it. You guys, Advanced Community Health always comes and let us know what we need to know if you're putting your girl on. You know what I'm saying? My Leo, putting you down, putting you on, okay? So how does Advanced Community Health support patients who want to quit vaping, or what are some strategies that you can recommend to people?
Well, really, so I feel like it's an individualized plan, So we're gonna make sure you come in, you make that appointment. There's no judgment there. We just wanna talk through what's going on in your life, what are maybe some of those things that are triggering you to smoke, right? And address those first. So whether it's through therapy or different things like that, we're gonna address those issues.
Gotcha. So let everybody know, where can more people learn about Advanced Community Health Services and how can they book an appointment?
So you can go online, it's Advance, that's ADVANCE.CHC.org, or call 919-833-3111. You can make an appointment.
I know, that's right. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
First of all, I love your beautiful smile, your energy. Yes, I love it. You know how we do in a Pretty Girl Playbook. We like to have fun, but we also like to drop them gems, okay? What's in your playbook? And it's staying healthy. It's definitely inside the playbook. For more information, visit advancedchc.org or call 919-833-3111. Advances providers are here to support you in all of your health needs. It's your girl, Shani Sweets. That's my player of the day. Dr. Johnson, you are my player of the day. All right. Shout out to Advanced Community Health. Shout out to my girl Jay. Okay, we're gonna keep things going. When I come back, we're gonna press play. What we listening to, what we are watching right here inside the Pretty Girl Playbook. Let's go.